Okay, so recently okay, so this is Nicholas here, and today is going to be a short video on best cardio. So, okay, so number one is I'm going to just kind of be very straight and say that if you are jogging, stop jogging. Jogging is not the best cardio. In fact, jogging is the worst cardio. Okay, jogging sucks. Okay, you're not meant to jog for like 20-30 over kilometer. You're not meant to jog even for like 5 to 10 kilometer. You are just not meant to be like that. Alright, so the best cardio, walking, sprinting. Okay, when I say sprinting, it's not sprinting for like, you don't sprint for like, okay, 30 seconds for like 10 rounds. Short bursts, 10 seconds as fast as you can, slow down and walk. Do it for like 2 rounds or 3 rounds. Okay, and walk. And when you walk, don't walk on your heavily padded sport shoes. If you can, walk on very flat shoes. Okay, for me, I'm wearing like this pair of like I'm wearing this pair of like Converse, like it has been worn like to almost barely padded already, and I'm walking on these shoes. If you can walk barefoot, it would be the best. Okay, but of course, yeah, in where I am and the place I'm walking, it's not conducive for me to walk barefoot. Okay, so I just walk with a very lightly padded shoes. It's so thin that I could actually feel the ground a lot, and that's what you want. Okay, because when you're walking with or running with heavily padded rubber sole shoes, right? Every step you take, okay, there will be a force rebounding back to your legs. Alright. So if you're thinking like, okay, you should be running. Okay, you should be wearing sport shoes to run because it helps to absorb the shock. Actually, no. If you think about it, if the pad is thick, when you step, okay, there's actually a significant force bounding back to your legs. Okay, and because of this force, it affects your joint also. Does it make sense? I think it makes sense, you see. Okay, your legs are designed in a way where when you step, you will actually know how to handle the force back to you. That's how we are naturally biologically designed to do it. Okay, if you look at any animal run, okay, that's their natural state. When they run or when they take steps, that's their natural state. Okay, so you can try if you were to give shoes to your dog. You can take a look at their initial. There's a lot of resistance when they were to wear shoes because you are defining their natural state. You see. Just like human, okay, when you're wearing shoes, okay, when you are wearing like sport shoes especially, okay, when you run, this is what will happen. You are meant to actually walk with walk on the ground, and you should actually feel the ground more. Your toes are supposed to kind of like spread wide, so that you can feel the ground more. Your feet has this natural sense of nerves, right, to actually feel the ground more. These are all very natural stuff. And when you wear like sport shoes, you take away all these things. Okay. So if you really need to, wear something that is very thin, especially on the sole. Alright, and don't jog. We are not meant to jog like 20-30 kms a day. Don't jog. Not even 5 to 10 kms. You should be saying like, jogging is good. Jogging, bullshit, man. Jogging is not good. You know why? Because we are not meant to. Our natural state is not meant to jog for like 10-20 kms per day. Our natural state is to walk, okay, and when we see And when we will see our prey, because we are predators. So when we see our prey, we will run. That's how we are naturally doing it. Okay? And our natural state, we have evolved to actually build throwing tools, especially like throwing tools. Our shoulders are meant to throw things. We are meant to chase down our prey and use our throwing spears to actually catch the prey. Okay, so disclaimer, this is so this is what we are meant to do. Our arms and our shoulders, and this is how we are. Our DNA is supposed to be, not jogging for like 20-30 km and take it as we are very disciplined people. No, this is nonsense, man. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, we are not meant to run like 20, 30, 40, 50 km a day. Okay, especially on our rubber soles. Even if you are doing it, we don't need like, even if you're doing it, because there are like native tribes that have been doing it. The Mexican tribe, okay, they can run like 40 or 50 km, and that's their natural state. They look very elegant when they are running. All right, take note, without shoes. Okay, they run with their very, very thin, like recycled shoes, straw sandals. Okay, and they eat a lot of natural carbs. Yeah, that's why they can do it, and that's their lifestyle. That's where they live. Okay, when I say lifestyle, is where they live, is their environment. Their environment from their generations to generation has make them be able to do it. Is their environment, because they stay like at very foresty places, very hilly places. Okay, it's the environment that make them, for generations and generations, they will adapt to it. Okay, so no, we are not meant to like run like 40-50 km kind of a jog, and go around clocking in on your Strava saying that this is my easy run of like 4 minutes per km or 5 minutes km. See how that's why people are having knee issues. Their ligaments, they have their joints are wearing off, because of the impact they get from wearing shoes, from literally wearing shoes. Okay, so to overcome it, what's the best way to overcome it? Okay, find something that's like really thin sole, like a worn down pair of shoes, and use it. Or you might be surprised, sometimes the most expensive shoes are the worst shoes to run on. So find yourself like really, really cheap shoes to run in. If you're in Singapore, there's like a pair of shoes called Warrior. It's the school shoes that every primary school or secondary school kid wears to school. Actually, more of secondary school. Primary school kids, they wear primary school kids they probably wear something else. Yeah. So secondary school, that was like maybe in maybe 10-20 years ago. I'm pretty sure secondary school kids are really rich now these days. They have dunks and stuff. Okay, anyway, let's not digress. There's a very popular pair of shoes called Warrior that looks kind of like ASIC. Okay, but it is thinner. The sole is thinner. They use it to do like what's that called? Martial arts. Yeah, use that kind of shoes. It's very cheap. It's only like maybe $30 per pair, and wear it, run and take it for a run, like a short run, and see how it feels. I think you will be really, really surprised. Okay, because you have to be a bit mindful, because when you wear the shoes, you got to be a bit mindful on how you run also. If not, you will not be able to adapt to the shoes or to our natural way of running. Yeah, so we are not meant to run, like we are not meant to jog for long distance. We are meant to sprint and walk and sprint. Yeah, so that's all.